Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 10th. This week, you have this card that says, you know the way. Trust your intuition on this journey. You have this get lost. It says, fall deep into the realm of imagination. So there you go. It's like maybe your intuition is guiding you at this time, right? Like as in, the card says you know the way, but then you also have a card that says the word lost on it, right? And so sometimes I think our intuition does know the way that we need to go in, but we could feel lost. But really, if we just tapped in, we would be fine. We would just be guided in the right direction. So, it's kind of like releasing resistance, if that makes sense, that's going on here in this reading. You have the Ace of Cups, the Sun, and the Ace of Swords. Two aces. I really like that. Two aces is kind of like a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. Ace of Cups, can represent love, but the Ace of Cups is all about flow and getting into the flow. This cup can cause itself to overflow, right? All it has to do is reach down into the water below it, and it can fill itself back up. A lot of the fixed signs get these cards of really needing to make sure that you're doing something that causes you to overflow. And, the Ace of Cups is something that you could do endlessly. Like, is there an activity or, a potential job that you would do even if you didn't get paid to do it? That the Ace of Cups is all about doing those types of things in your life, because guess what? If you do that, then you will get paid to do it. So, I think for a lot of you, this is about really following your heart and doing the things that you love to do in life, and inviting more of that like childlike fun energy into your life. I have been feeling an energy for Leo for a while where if you're taking things too seriously, I'm not saying don't be serious, right? But if you're taking things too seriously, I think you're going to have a hard time. You have the Sun, which is amazing. The Sun is you here, Leo, showing up in a strong position. So whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. We also have this child here with the wall behind the child. The wall behind the child kind of represents the wall that we all put up against our inner child. So the Sun kind of sometimes says we have to tap into our inner child energy and embrace having more fun, or allowing ourselves to enjoy life more, or be more playful. And I feel that the Sun is kind of encouraging you to do that. We also have the Nine of Cups here. Nine of Cups could be a wish. And with the Sun says you need to bring your attention to something that you are wishing for. It's like if you have a wish, focus on it and tell the positive story about it, and you're more likely to manifest it. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords like a victory or some sort of win coming in for you here. I almost get the feeling that you're being proven right, which I feel like I've said to you recently as well, Leo, that you could be being proven right like in work or business or career. And again, that could just feel very good. I feel very confident about it, like as in, if you're proven right in work or business or career, it could give you like a nice little confidence boost. And, especially if you were right about, a direction that your business should have taken, or, something like that. I kind of get that energy here. I also do get a little bit of something about like good news coming in for you. So, if you're like waiting, but if that's what it feels like to me, like if you're waiting for news, then I feel this could be good news. So let's see. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, card of independence. Nine of Pentacles is also your focus. So it's funny I said that with the Sun, that you have to focus on your wish, right? She is training her focus right here. She has this falcon on her wrist, and so she is making sure to focus on what she wants. Also, very important with this card right now is that she has a perfect environment. She has this snail right here, and the snail wears its home on its back. And so the snail kind of represents your environment and everything around you, the people, the places, and things that you surround yourself with. And creating an environment of success is going to be very important with the Nine of Pentacles. With the Sun, you have the Knight of Cups. Could be love. You have the Knight of Cups twice. So Knight of Cups could be like a knight in shining armor that's coming in for you here. And, again, Nine of Cups would be like a wish. We do have the Seven of Swords here, but it's coming up in the good stuff, so wouldn't really worry about it. Although I'm not like worried about this, Leo, but it's just standing out to me. Ten of Swords down to the Five of Swords, Seven of Swords, all connected to this Knight of Cups. So I would say someone has been hurt here. Could be you. The Ten of Swords could be you focusing on past hurts or a past breakup or separation, or again, it could be this person. And the reason I'm telling you this is because we have Venus retrograde right now. I always say that I don't think we should let retrogrades control our lives. If you want to date, go on a date. Again, if you meet the love of your life during Venus retrograde, the universe isn't going to be like, oh, it's Venus retrograde, I have to ruin this, right? That's not going to happen. So you never know, right? And on top of that, Venus is a retrograde planet. Venus is always retrograde. When it's retrograde, it's actually spinning forwards. Not really, it's an illusion. But, again, it is a retrograde planet. I think that's something nobody realizes about Venus in the first place. And I wonder if that's why love is a mess, right? So what I would say here is that, take your time and don't rush. With the Ace of Swords, can't make this up. You have the Page of Cups. Again, this could be someone telling you that they love you. Or vice versa, it could be you saying that as well. Again, I would take your time. Like if you just saw this person on the street, don't walk up to them and be like, I love you. They're probably going to run away. You might want to give it a little bit of time. You might want to just, go on a few dates first. And like I said, with the Venus retrograde, I would definitely take your time. As a matter of fact, if you are dating during a Venus retrograde, you have to understand that after the retrograde, the person is going to seem different, or you're going to seem different, or the connection itself is going to seem different. But again, that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That could be a good thing. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card that says Truth Transcends Illusion. You also have this brown bear spirit that says take time out. I think you definitely need a break for sure. You have the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. I don't really feel too bad about that Ten of Swords, but I feel like I'm just going to show you with the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can represent something that's dead, done, over with, and the Ten of Wands can be like trying to force something to work, trying to force something to happen. And so, sometimes I think when we get into these modes, like Ten of Swords, where, he's reached rock bottom and he's trying to, think about how he can improve his situation, the Ten of Wands would be like, I'm just going to do as much work as possible to try to fix my situation in life. And the Ten of, this whole row basically says, no, that's a bad idea. You should be thinking things through and slowing things down, especially because we have a bunch of retrogrades going on. On top of that, the Nine of Cups is not about the struggle. The Nine of Cups, he's not doing anything. He's about to receive a feast. That's the story of the card. The reason he's about to receive a feast is because he's in alignment with having a feast. So he hasn't done any work for it. All he has done is gotten into alignment with the energy, and he has attracted what he wants. The other thing about the Nine of Cups is, there's an alternative meaning to the Nine of Cups, that he is a barkeep and he is choosing who to give these cups to. And, that's really popping into my head for you, Leo, where I think it would be a good time for you to kind of it's like you are the decider. You are the one who is determining who gets your energy and who doesn't. And I feel that it could be a really good time for you to just kind of think about those decisions. Instead of just working with a person, do they really add value to your life? Instead of dating to a person, it's are you just seeing what they look like and you're not seeing who they really are, or what? I don't know. I'm not you. So I think you have to make these decisions, right, Leo? You have the Ten of Wands. Again, this is, I had the word brute force popping into my head with this card. It's almost like you're trying to brute force something into working, And I feel like the Ten of Wands is saying no, what's meant for you is going to have a flow to it. Ace of Cups. What's meant for you is kind of just going to work. And I feel that's what you need to pay attention to. I also do feel that, there is something else popping into my head here that, I like the Ten of Wands. He's about to have a harvest. He's carrying these 10 wands to his home, and those wands are what he planted, so it's not really a bad card. But one thing I will say that I'm getting off of the card is that I feel like you need to finish what you have on your plate. Speaking about a feast with that Nine of Cups, it's if you're at a buffet, it's finish that plate that you have in front of you first. Don't get up and go fill it up with more whatever, right? And I get that energy here where I'm not really sure about the message, but it's it's almost like you're working towards something right now, and I feel this is saying finish it and don't go try to do 100 other things, right? So I don't know, that might only be for one of you. With the Ten of Swords, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands could be you, and King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. And I would say that that's kind of true as long as you're staying focused on one thing with this 10 of Wands, as long as you're not adding a bunch of other stuff to your plate. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Nine of Swords. I think I said this to you recently as well, where it's almost like I get this feeling that you fear that you're not going to get something that you want, but it's like the fear is overriding that Nine of Cups, like the dream or the wish, right? And so I feel in a lot of ways, if you could get rid of the fear, you will have the wish, but if you can't, you won't. So, yeah, I don't really have any good advice for you there, Leo, because really the only way we can overcome fear is to face it. What I will say is that education, right? Education is one of the biggest solutions to fear. When usually people are afraid of things that they just don't know. So learning about the situation, could be very helpful. If this is a person as well, because we do have a lot of love here, you don't have to date the person right now. You could just learn about them, cyber stalk them, go look up their mom on Instagram or Facebook, right? I'm sure you've all done it. So you could also just talk to the person and learn about them, and instead of allowing the fear to smother whatever that Nine of Cups is. Yes, too much unknown here. With the 10 of Wands, you have the 7 of Cups. This is probably where the fear is coming from, is the unknown. the 7 of Cups is you can see all the different potentials of a dream or a wish that you have. He sees good things and bad things in these cups, and he's dreaming of something, but until he takes action, he's not going to know how things are going to go. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Enchanted card and this Watch for Signs card. Very intuitive time. Again, we have all this energy in Pisces, so I would be paying attention to signs, symbols, synchronicities, your intuition, all that other stuff. The Enchanted card makes sense with the Sun. Again, something and the Nine of Cups. I feel like there is something that has captured your attention that you want, like a wish in life, and, I would just learn about it. You have the Six of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Six of Swords is about moving on to calmer shores. I'm hearing that this has been a long time coming. I feel like it's been a little bit of a struggle for you for a while. And now you are more focused on kind of smoothing things out in your life, which is good. This goes right along with that Nine of Pentacles. Again, Nine of Pentacles is about kind of curating a decent environment for yourself. And again, one way to do that is to smooth out the friction. Anywhere you feel friction in your life, get rid of it or change it, right? Anything that causes a problem, in your life, can you remove it or can you make it smoother? And, I feel like that's what the Six of Swords is kind of saying. You have the Knight of Cups again. So Knight of Cups can be a knight in shining armor. Definitely could be love. Like I said, take your time. This hasn't started yet, I would say, if you do want love. Obviously, if you already have love, different story. But if you don't, he is standing in front of this water here, and he needs to plant seeds in front of that water, and they will grow. So, like I said, if you want love, I would get a move on here with this energy. Although, again, this could just be, it's one of those things where you could just be learning the person, talking to the person. You don't have to make this full deep commitment, especially during a Venus retrograde. So like I said, take your time. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. Eight of Cups comes up every single time that there's an eclipse, because there's an eclipse right here on the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups, especially during a lunar eclipse, we can absolutely be removing something from our life. But the thing about lunar eclipses is that if we remove something, we're making space for something better. And, it just is what it is. So he's not willing to settle on these 8 cups. He wants the 9 of cups, right? He wants something better. And I feel a lot of you could be making a choice to walk away from something that isn't right. It could be anything. With the 6 of Swords, you have the 2 of Cups literally talking, right? The 2 of Cups. These two people have this right here. This is the staff of Hermes, and Hermes is Mercury, and Mercury's communication. Now, we also have Mercury going retrograde at the end of the month. So, again, like I said, there's no rush in connections at this time. And you absolutely could just be talking to a person or getting to know a person. 2 of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type. So, that comes up. 2 of Cups can also be you talking to your higher self, which I would say really is probably going to be better for you just in general. Communicating with your higher self, tapping into your intuition, those things. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Empress. There you go. Someone finds you attractive, or someone will find you attractive, or you find them attractive, whatever. Maybe it's both, right? And the Empress is a lot of abundance, a lot of happiness, a lot of good things. It is being able to create abundance as well. But again, she also does not force things to happen. She is just waves that scepter in front of her, and the wheat in front of her will grow. So she is not like she is not working hard. 10 of Wands, brute force. I was getting that kind of brute force energy, trying to force something through. Not what she would do, right? So I feel that really should be your major focus. Like, again, as I always say to you, Leo, like, I wouldn't even focus on love if I were you. I would focus on yourself, focus on your environment, focus on getting into the flow, and then naturally love will come to you. It's like when we can get ahead of it. I think people would be better served not focusing on love, because when you focus on your own life, you focus on creating a positive environment for yourself, good love will be a natural side effect of that. So, that's really what I would be focusing on if I were you. And I would also be focusing on, like I said, not forcing things to happen, getting into the flow. With the 8 of Cups, you have the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles, like stability. Sometimes I don't like the 4 of Pentacles because it can be holding on too tightly to the past, but I feel pretty good for you with this 4 of Pentacles. I do feel you're kind of creating more financial security for yourself. In the area of the good stuff, you have this travel card. It says you're attracting positive movement or travel that will bring your desires to fruition. That's amazing. You have the soul family. It says prepare to meet those who share a similar frequency level to you. So again, 2 of Cups can be you and your higher self, but could also be you attracting your soul family, like people that you resonate with. Could be like friends, family, new people, stuff like that coming in for you. You have the 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. Again, this is coming up in the good stuff. 3 of Pentacles would be finally being recognized for your work. So, I think this has been a hard thing for Leo, is getting the recognition they deserve for the work that they do. I think Leos for a long time could feel that other people are getting credit for the work that you do. One of if I were to like boil down like the collective knowledge of all the Leo readings that I've done for you for a very long time, I would say that your presentation could be something that you could work on, right? So like if you have something like a skill that could make you very successful, how you present that skill to like a potential boss, or maybe you want to have a YouTube channel or social media or something, like how you present it is going to be very important. He is presenting his work in a special way. We have a fire triangle up here. We have a water triangle right here. The water triangle is like the icing on the cake. It's like the cherry on top. He did just a little bit extra to make this project just a little bit more special. He didn't go crazy. He didn't brute force it. He didn't like force this thing to work that he worked on. He just added a little bit of extra, flair, right? And I think that's something you could work on, especially especially if you give presentations, if you're on YouTube or anything like that. Working on the presentation or how it appears could be very powerful for you. You have the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords, some people read as lying, cheating, stealing, but it's coming up in the good stuff. Really, 7 of Swords is a card of tactics. He's stealing these swords from this army in the background. So he's going to war, but in a different way. And again, this is also going to be your best friend, Leo, is doing things in a different way. On top of all that, not taking things too seriously is going to be your best friend. He has polka dots on his cloak. Polka dots in the tarot show up on this card and the 3 of Pentacles right here. So polka dots represent needing to not take things too seriously. We said it at the beginning of the reading. Definitely something that I would pay attention to. You have the 5 of Swords. Always, you cannot make this up. You always get the 5 of Swords in the good stuff. So 5 of Swords in the good stuff is about taking a risk. And, risk is going to be helpful for you as well. Here you go. With the 3 of Pentacles, you have the 7 of Swords. How can you do what you do right now in a different way? I feel like I've told you this story before. I was working with a guy on YouTube, and he was putting up content like on his channel, and then he was trying to get people to like a membership that he had, kind of like a Patreon, but it was basically his own Patreon, right? And he was charging for like longer content. I had him switch. I said, take your content that you're putting over here, put it on YouTube. Take the content on YouTube, put it on your Patreon thing, whatever, his membership. And guess what? It worked. So sometimes we just have to switch. Sometimes we just have to, try the opposite of whatever we're doing. And, the 7 of Swords is totally about that. So, I don't know, that story popped into my head, so it might be helpful to someone. With the 7 of Swords, you have the 10 of Pentacles. Yes, 10 of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. in your life. So a lot of you you're a fixed sign. All fixed signs are focused on building, leaving a legacy. I think it's because of Uranus and Taurus. Again, this is according to Chris's crappy astrology, not accurate astrology. So yeah, but I just see it in every single fixed sign reading gets the Ten of Pentacles since Uranus went into Taurus. So I feel a lot of you are trying to, build a life worth living. With the Five of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in the good stuff is progress. So you could finally be making more progress towards your goals, towards your achievements, towards the things that you want in life. And of course, that would be good. You cannot make this up. You have this ant card. It says work, achievement, success. Ants can lift, what is it? Like 1,000 times more than their body weight, right? So they can do something hard easily. Empress would be an ant if she was an animal, maybe. I don't know. I think ants are cute, so maybe the Empress would be like a swan or something. But her superpower would be like an ant, where she's not doing things that cause struggle. Like, what hard things can you do easily? That's what I would be focusing on. Nine of Pentacles. She has those grapes behind her. Grapes in the tarot represent something that's difficult to grow, but she can do it well. And I believe we all have skills that we're born with that that are hard for some people, but maybe are easy for us. And that's what I'm getting the whole entire reading. You have this Ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. Again, I feel like this is saying don't try to brute force things into place. Don't try to force things to work. You have this good news card. Didn't we say that at the beginning of the reading? I think I said something about getting good news, or there could be good news coming in for you. You have this basket card. It says recognition, reward for merit. Again, another one, you can't make it up. Three of Pentacles. He is receiving recognition for the work he has done on the Three of Pentacles. You have this Fox, which is also very similar to Seven of Swords energy. It says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business, which we talked about with the Seven of Swords. So I love this reading for you, Leo. This is probably one of the first readings I really like for you in a long time. So yeah, love it. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.